I second it.
Thanks.
All in favor, say
I.
Thank you.
Hello.
Have a good year.
Morning.
Morning, Blaine.
Happy New Year.
All righty, so I guess we'll go ahead and, Paul said he'll be right here, but, we can go ahead with, fence across the Browns Gulch. I guess we can talk about that first, so Paul gets here. That fence across the Browns Gulch Lane.
Yeah, so Paul went and looked at it. It's actually potentially on the access road there. So it's not actually, because Brown Gulch Road actually takes a little jog, but there's some research found that potentially that access road is also a county road. According to Steve Emichu, that where the fence is where the people have always drove on there. So at a minimum, it's a public road.
Is it locked, Blaine?
It's just my understanding is a fence across it, and then there's some timbers. Dave Harris is here and can give some comment too on like.
Yeah, you wanna come up,
barricade.
just a second. You'll have to come up here and state your name, and then we can come up here. You'll have to state your name and stuff and
Well, what do I do?
say who you are.
Dave Harris, wild meat.
I think we have to be official.
Have a seat if you
Well, you
want.
can delete the wild meat.
No, it's fine. That's all good. But if you can explain and tell us a little bit about it, so you're on.
Okay, I've got these old mining claim plots here with the road on it. I'd like you to look at these.
Yeah, if you got them.
Did you hear that okay? Did you hear that okay? You can sit if you want. You may sit.
So I don't know how to show this to you all at once.
I'll just lay it out there in front of you, and we can look. Dave, Paul's here now too, so he went and looked at it, this is that. So we need to have some information on it.
Just plug on both sides, just like he's saying.
And
So-
this is the same guy's got it blocked on both sides, and it's a county road.
Well,
Brown's goals for sure is, but there's strong evidence that this access road is all.
Are they locked or are they just a gate?
No, it's very strong. The one guy's a fence.
Oh,
He's shut complete access off.
but if it's a county road, he can't.
Right.
Yeah, my advice is it's gonna be a commission send him a letter to remove it, within 30 days, the county will remove it. That's my,
okay, here. This is the Browns Gulch Road here. And they've, them that have put the blockage in here have got this routed up around Ron Locke's place there. There's another road there, but I believe this is the Browns Gulch Road. The blockage is right here before this intersection. At corner number 4 of what was the original Dundalk Road. And it's marked there with the mineral survey number.
Okay.
And that's where it is, right there. Now, somebody has put a factory-made sign down here that says Tungsten Lane. Now, whoever's up here, they've gravelled this part of the road here, and and they're using that, I don't know who this is that has this cabin up here, but last year they had that plowed, you know.
And this is where they got it blocked there
Yeah.
down here.
Yeah, this comes down, well, it eventually winds up at my place, you know,
Oh, okay.
and, through Brown's Gulch.
Does this guy have a house or something here? Or
What?
is there a house or something? The guy that blocked it?
So where's Brown's Gulch, right?
Oh, I don't know exactly where Ron Locke's place is. It's in this area here.
So he's the one that blocked it?
No, no.
Oh, here's the.
Is this it right here?
See, here's a 1913 survey. Here's where the blockage is.
Okay.
And this is a little different than what this is now. It just, there's a kind of a steep little hill and Ron Locke's place is here.
I mean,
But this road goes right through here.
It's 100% blocked.
And that's where they've got everybody routed now. This road is,
I'll get us moving on here.
there's a intersection right
So is it
behind
just
this
this year
here
that
now. That's this here that joins onto there that was
And
done
that's-
later.
I've heard about
But
it.
now this is what I'm contending here is this part. Now, on this old plat, it says Brown's Gulch Wagon Road. And this, I've outlined it there where it goes through, these claims here.
I think the thing we'll do, Walmeet, is, we'll go ahead on it and send him a letter and tell him to get him off, because it's a county road. He can't be doing that. And then give him 30 days to remove it, and if he don't, then we'll have to have the road crew go up or whatever.
Yeah, okay, also below the blockage, he's, put a Kelly hump across
Yeah,
there.
he's gotta clean it all up.
Yeah, and then there's a big log there, and then the old creek channel, the creek don't make it that far now, but, these pile logs and everything clear over to that deep cut there, so nobody can drive around it.
Well,
See,
he'll have to clean it up, because if we do, he'll be getting a bill from us.
good, I'm glad to hear.
So, because we can't.
Yeah, so my advice would be to actually post a letter on the fence or gate, and I did draft, there's a draft.
Maybe
there,
we'll
so
do that right away, so we can get moving on it.
I encourage you to do it, yeah.
I'd
motion
like
approve the
to
letter.
just a little more here about this, where the road goes through the homestead claim. That's, I've,
just,
We already got the letter ready for him.
I've marked the road there where it goes through here, it's just the same as what you see.
Okay,
And this plot was made in 1878, so it
okay.
goes back at least that far.
All right, well, we'll send him, we got the letter right there to send him.
do we want this information? Maybe make copies of it?
I've got it in my file.
Okay.
You want me to make copies for Billy or?
No,
Yeah,
I don't.
I mean, as long as you have it
I've
where
got-
we
got
can
it all.
access it.
Yeah, so he's found strong evidence that access road and Browns Gulch Road are county, and there was already proof that Browns Gulch.
Yeah.
is a county road.
All right, well, we'll move on, but we're gonna send him a letter, so.
I'd encourage you to do a motion on the letter.
I'll make a motion to send it over.
I'll second it.
Well, you don't need any more here. then.
Nope, we're good.
All right.
Thank you very much. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion been carried and passed.
Could I read the letter?
Yeah, I'll give you a copy of it if you want.
You want a
Yeah.
copy? Then you can keep it
Yeah,
right here.
I'll make you a copy of it if you want.
Okay, we'll move on. Paul, what you got for us?
Just plowing snow and wishing the wind would go away.
Yeah.
I second that. I like it.
Yeah.
But I have to plow my road.
I think, one thing that we should do is talk to Mungus again and see about putting an additional quarter-mile of snow fence on East Fork, adding on to where we have.
Hmm.
If we start now, we could get her approval if she's willing to do it, and then get it on next year's budget and try to get fencing people lined out to do it by next August or September. If that's something you guys are,
So is that something that would benefit her? Are you talking about?
benefit us,
And her also,
yeah, oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking maybe we extend it on our own.
But let's move on, like, we know she's not going to.
Thanks, Bobby.
I want her to.
Paul, did you go take a look at that?
I did,
Yeah,
yeah, and it needs to be tore out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks, guys.
You bet.
Thank
Thank you.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, wild meat.
No, that don't go on the record.
Yes, it does. No one knows your real name.
He's getting you a letter.
Did you get yours
Blaine's
back?
getting you a letter, huh?
Did you get your signed one back?
Yeah, Blaine's getting it.
Everybody's making copies.
If you wanna come on up, we'll talk about yours while we're right here.
Well, anyway, let's talk about the fence.
Yeah,
Oh,
let's,
I got you.
no, I need to get the approval from you guys to talk before I even talk to her. You know, so are you guys good, agreeable with that?
So you're saying you need to just to talk? to
Well, we need
her,
to get her permission before we move
But
forward.
you wouldn't be doing anything
It's
this
her, it's her
fiscal
land,
year?
It is her land.
Oh,
but it
okay,
would benefit her and everybody else.
yeah. So, but the county would put the snow fence up.
Right, but, so we get her permission to do it, to add another quarter-mile on now, and it would be next year's budget to do it. But if we don't move forward with it now, we'll never get it done until another whole season goes
For that one, like 30,000.
by. Right, and now it's gonna be like 50,
A lot of money.
but we don't have to do it, but if we get it on the record that let's move forward with it, that's just my
We
opinion.
don't have to.
And
Thanks for coming in.
Yeah. And then say, okay, we get a bid and it's stupid, okay, we put it off for another year. But at least we had it on the record to move forward with it, we could, yay or nay.
Is there a copy?
Okay, thanks.
So do we need a motion on that, or?
Well, we do because there's no reason to talk to her if you guys aren't agreeable to do it.
I'll make a motion. I'll make a motion that we visit with Sharon Mungus on building more snow fence on her property.
I'll second.
Basically, giving him authorization to talk to
Yeah.
her, or?
Yeah. And then that would give us, if she's good with it, then we can put a bid out for it. Because no one can do anything anyway until next August or September, so it'd be still on the next budget. But we could
So-
say in a month, we could say, hey, this is what it's gonna cost, and make a decision for next
Mhm.
year, you know,
Yeah, you're right.
so.
And then everybody's so busy anyway.
Right.
Is there any public comment on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried pass.
All right.
You wanna come up now? We'll give you exercise.
Yeah, thank you. Russ Pyre. It's the snow application permit for the Black Pine Road that's on the Forest Service.
You've seen this?
Here's the original.
Did you get approval from the Forest Service yet, or?
The access road, actually, it's not drifting at all. I'm like on this access, it's like on the high side, and there's only like 3 inches of most of the snow. But I have done it so far. It's been denied, but then I've appealed it. There was a little bit misinformation. They assumed that I could go through Wapatiti Road, which I keep telling them it's not a county road. it's a series of public roads, and I do not have the easement to go through this one section of property. It's gated and actually private property. So that's what I appealed, because they thought I can go that way. And I said, no. And then what that makes it then is a prescriptive easement, which, but I have to prove that. And so that's what my attorney is drawing up to send them over officially, that we did investigate, and Wapiti does not go all the way through to Moose Spring Trail.
Okay, and that you're doing with the Forest Service, correct?
Yes, yes.
So do I sign this or you?
I sign, or I will. So what do you guys think? What do you think, Paul?
I think, give them, let them plow the county road part to our specs, like we've talked. And, but that,
Hey.
obviously, we can't give you any authority to do anything on the forest,
No, absolutely not. Don't want to either.
not even pushing the berm.
No.
Not,
Exactly.
but
Totally understand.
as far as doing the county stuff, as long as it's in plowed double lane with turnouts,
Yeah.
we're good. But keep in mind, if it washes down that road like it did last year and takes all that gravel and everything down, someone's got to pay for that. And that's gonna be the guy that plows.
Yeah.
So as long as you do a good job and you got, the berms cut, so the water can run out, I say, let them go.
And then any questions, it's all right if I call you. Have any questions?
You won't need to, because I'll be up there looking.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, 'cause it'll take a while. I would only be able to do it on the weekend, because I work during the week. And yeah, it'll take just kind of a couple to initially clear it out a little bit.
But when you start plowing that, don't do it just one lane to start with even. Get them both opened up with the berm cut. Because I'm telling you, there's gonna be people in here.
Oh,
That'll blow in, then you won't be able to do it.
Right.
they've already, down below,
Yeah.
where they got stuck, and I don't know what they were trying to do.
But there's people that live on Black Pine Road.
Yeah.
That are really upset about what happened last year. And
So they're gonna be watching.
They're gonna be watching.
Oh, okay.
And it's just gotta be done right, because they'll just be in here, it's gonna be havoc.
Oh. Yeah.
But if you're good with doing it right, my opinion is let them go.
And then I've been talking, and this is like next year, so like Bob Cook, I think was mentioning that, if his plans go well, he'll be moving here and building, but he's like a mile further down on the Black Pine. But so he may be contact sometime in the summer if he is gonna move over.
Yeah, because your agreement is just your agreement. It's
That's
not
why I
gonna
wanted to
do it.
make sure, okay,
It's only your agreement.
okay. 'Cause
Next
somebody
year, he
else
builds
might
in there,
do
you
it.
guys wanna do it as a team, then you do it as a team. But right now, you're sole responsible.
okay.
Just,
Because that's what he was asking, like, if he is here next year and he builds, if the two of us, and,
then you can easily come and do it as
Okay.
a joint effort.
all right,
Did you have a comment, Blaine?
Oh, one thing the agreement contemplates is naming the county's additional insured, but you said that your insurance company would not do that.
yeah, they did so they checked and everything, and they did a certificate of insurance liability where I have $1 million on that. But they said, what you're describing is they would have to cancel my ranch insurance and create a commercial insurance policy by listing the Granite County. And they said a couple of the other counties don't do that, that as long as they show the certificate with the liability under the ranch, that's usually sufficient.
So it would be up to the county commission. I mean, the reason to do that, then there's added coverage to the county. The county already has insurance coverage, so you're making sure he has it. Now, adding the county's additional insured would add extra protection, but you could waive that in the agreement if you want.
Do we want to get in to start waiving stuff like that, since we've always stuck to our guns on it before, or what? I guess I'm not saying I'm against waiving it, I want
Well, if he does have the $1 million insurance policy in place,
I know, but is this opening up something that every time somebody comes in, that we're gonna start waiving that they don't have to have that?
So explain again, you're saying that we wanted you to have Granite County
Listed.
listed.
Yeah. So the example would be, say, negligently plowed it or whatever, someone gets injured, they sue the county and you. The county's insurance covers the county, his insurance will cover him, but there's no, his insurance policy will not cover the county potentially, unless the county potentially could bring a claim against him as well for negligently doing that. But so you're not having added insurance coverage is all it is.
Yeah,
All it is.
yeah.
I don't. I mean,
Well, I'm looking at it and seeing where he's covered, where we want him covered, but we're also covered under our own insurance.
So it'd be all right, Glenn?
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
think it'd be necessary to have, if it's gonna cost him extra and then he's gonna lose and have to go commercial, and I don't see any reason why we should be on this, as long as we're both going to be covered. And if he was negligent, he'd be the one that,
They're gonna name both parties, but if he was negligent, the county could bring a lawsuit against
Okay.
him too.
So-
Get after that insurance.
so this to me looks like will cover both parties.
You know, you're not covered as much as you could be, but you're still protected, so it's up to you.
So, and is that what we want, is just to make sure we're protected?
I think so.
Yeah, as long as he has that.
Okay,
I'd just have a motion on it. We'll go
So-
ahead with,
I just wonder, does it say in our policy that we have to be covered under his insurance?
No, it's just that agreement as drafted, that's kind of the model
Oh,
agreement.
this agreement here,
Yeah, the county, I believe the county commission approved that model, but you can modify that agreement.
yeah, I was
That's
thinking that if,
The problem is if you make them get additional insured, everybody that plows will have to get commercial insurance.
Yeah.
And there's just no way that
Right.
people can afford to do that.
so we maybe need to reword this a little bit better to where
If
we're
you're,
both
if it's
protected.
always, if you're not gonna require them, we can take it out of the model agreement. But for this, I'd say approve the agreement with that change of not requiring additional.
okay, well, entertain a motion then on that.
I'll make that motion. To approve that letter with whatever he said.
Update.
Removing the additional insured requirement.
Okay, I second.
Any public comment?
Nothing on the web.
Nothing. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion been carried and passed.
Thank you.
Make sure you listen to what he said though.
Oh, no.
Because people will be watching, they're gonna be snooping, and I'm just telling you.
No, I like, well, and yeah, it'll be on the weekends, and I'll let you know, because that's when I'll have the time.
And just keep in touch, that's the main thing, is communication.
Communications. Yeah.
All righty.
No, I
Another
appreciate
thing
it.
is one other quick thing. You know, where you come out where you start plowing,
Yeah.
don't berm that road up. So you don't put a big 10-foot berm in the middle of that road. Kick that off, you know, so that people go up there, they're just hitting your natural snow
Got it.
rather than, otherwise you're making a barricade.
Yeah, and then the snow just drifts over right over.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where the washing.
Yep.
Yeah.
That way you can putter up there and look through to make sure, because you know
And I got it snow.
Yeah.
it.
So, our,
Elena.
Oh, Elena does? Okay, go ahead, Elena. Go ahead, Elena.
Well, thank you. This is Elena Gagliano. I had to wait to be unmuted. I'm not clear. You mentioned people on Black Pine were upset what happened last year, whatever. Who on Black Pine?
Who what?
Who on Black Pine was upset?
It was a personal comment made to me.
Just somebody, they talked to Paul.
Oh, because as far as I'm concerned, I don't see any problem.
Well, we've already made the motion and passed it, so yeah, he's gonna go ahead, and we were just concerned about making sure that it was plowed right and the snow was pushed through the area so people won't complain.
Yeah, well, anything being done up here is welcome. Thank you.
Thanks for your comment.
So there's a couple blanks that need filled in. One would be the term of the agreement, where you're thinking 1 year, then you can come back. April
Because if we're
1st.
gonna remodify that, we should come back in next.
All right, so end of,
Let's just go from January to January.
okay,
Or no,
No.
what is it?
June to June, maybe.
Yeah.
so,
Because January's now, we need to have to redo
So-
it again.
Well, we're
So-
doing it today.
so go through June 30th, 2022, and then you come back in July, or?
So is this now just because we need to modify this?
No, we had blanks in here, just,
So I'm wondering, every year happen to do this? Is that,
I think we
Okay.
I would
should,
think
if we're
so.
gonna have
Okay.
comments on
Okay.
it. And I think we.
And your, just for a number of reasons, like your insurance cancels every year, then you got new insurance
Okay.
policies.
Correct.
And then we can say, no, you did a lot of shitty job last year, we're not letting you do it again, or
Okay.
else we don't want it.
all right,
So I
so
agree.
ending June 30th, 2022, and come back in July. All right.
you have been forewarned.
Yeah. I learned the hard way, knuckles, unfortunately.
That way it gets you through, gives you the summer to do it, and then when it starts snowing, then you're set for the full winter.
For the
And then it says services provided by the county at the specific location stated as follows, so just none.
Right.
All
I put absolutely in front of the none.
right.
Is that it, Wayne?
Yeah.
All right, well, anything else? You're done.
Oh, thank you.
Thank
I'll give you a copy
Thank
of
you.
this. Well, yeah, I'll give you a copy.
You got anything else for us? Well, we'll move on to the 9:15 one. The bid opening for standard dump truck, a belly dump truck, and a side dump truck. We have
We only have one.
one bid. The bids from Bob Weaver Construction, 2 belly dumps, 125 per hour. 2 side dumps, 125 per hour. 3 dump trucks, $100 per hour. This is the only bid that we've gotten so far. Any
Should we
comment?
hold off and see if we can get some more?
Yeah, I think so.
They'll be coming in anyway. Maybe.
Yeah, I think a
You
little
want to
bit more.
table it
Yeah,
for another week?
yeah.
Okay.
But we can't, till we read it.
Right. And it's on
Yeah.
It's in the paper.
That's
Well,
not
it was
fair.
in there, we had to, because it
the,
said.
right, but I mean, you can't table it and then
Well, if
the
we
next
want,
bid comes in
well,
at
maybe,
50 cents cheaper an hour, that's not fair.
no, all
That'd
I'm
be like
saying
open
though,
up.
that we could leave it open for, but this is the bid now.
Yeah.
Well, I'm surprised there hasn't been more. Did we advertise it
Oh,
well
yeah.
enough?
Yeah, we had it open for a month. For bids.
Didn't get anything in?
We got one
From Bob Weaver.
and it came in yesterday.
So it was reasonable.
It went up a little bit due to the fact that fuel's gone up, insurance has gone way up. So I think it went up $10, it was 115, it went to 125, which,
So if we accept this bid, that means they're the only one.
We want to be accepted. And so just say Barkel says, hey, I've got 3 trucks and I want to put them on. Well, we notify Blaine and he puts them in line with the, so like if Keith comes in and wants 3, we just add them on
Yeah, they're on the
Right,
secondary
right.
call out.
with that price.
With this price, so
Yeah,
they
that's
can't,
it.
they can't
But the
go.
priority should always be given
Priority.
to them, so if they're unavailable, it goes down the list. And the notice talks about that, how you go
Yeah.
down in priority, so, yeah, you had other years, other people added on
Okay, and this is understanding that they're the only ones that submitted a bid, so yes, understandably, priority would be given to them, because they're the only ones that.
That's
But we-
consistent with the notice that went in the newspaper.
I think we have to accept it. Since we opened it.
All right.
Well, if, how long was it in the paper? A month?
Well, 2 weeks, but it's been, yeah, it started advertising
Early,
Yeah.
yeah, because we gave it additional time with the holiday.
and it's done every year, so they
Yeah.
should be expecting it if they want to put in.
I make a motion that we accept Bob Weaver Construction's bid for belly dump, side dump and dump trucks at 125, 125 and 100.
I'll second it.
Any comment? No comment, all in favor?
Aye. Oh,
There was-
just a second.
There was not a second one brought up then today?
We haven't received anything.
What's that?
I think Mackenzie was gonna bring one up for a shed home this morning. If they remembered to give it to her.
They bring it up, they could be added, but probably rather priority, because there is a time deadline on that notice.
I think it
as
was
well.
8 AM. Hold on, I have the notice. It's posted on the website
If-
too.
Regardless, we'll do what we do every time. We'll add everybody that comes on and we'll just go down the list. And It's the only fair way.
Yeah,
It's the only,
If
it's what
they
we've
don't-
always done.
they don't match the price and they're the bottom.
I mean, if somebody comes in at $150 an hour or whatever, I mean,
8:45
Hey.
AM
it has to
local
be what
time,
it is. You can't tell them they have to run it
So-
125, you know.
or 9:15. Yeah, 8:45 local time
Yeah.
is when bids were due today.
So the time-
Question, if there had been more bids and one of them would have been lower than Weaver's, then we would have,
He'd be first.
They get
First
pushed that
priority.
one, but now that we accept the 125, because he's the only one, that's number one.
okay.
So are we done with that? So, you want me to make a couple copies of this and go put them on each side of the fence?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Okay.
I think we better, and then we'll mail him one or email, whatever, and then the sooner he gets it off, the better, because if there's snowmobiling up through.
The issue, I don't know what landowner is doing it. I tried to get a hold of the one came down and said he didn't put it down there, Brian Kavanaugh. Jim Beckwith, maybe the one that did, I sent him emails and hasn't responded back.
Well,
My advice, just put it right there on the,
Who's he
on the-
sending
that's
it?
what the statute talks about.
So that's posted on the
Right in
fence,
front of the fence, yeah, both sides of the fence.
so we don't have anyone to,
We don't know who it is.
Nobody's taking responsibility for putting it in there, but if we put this on each and they got this long to get it out. so
If 30 days comes along, then we count it. Because there's a statutory process, basically post it, we did this with Red Lion.
okay,
Post it, and then if they don't, then the county can come in and.
okay.
I don't know what else to do.
So then what? We find out who owns the property and make sure that all the
Yeah.
owners are notified or what? Posting it is, I see that, but
Then we'll be able to move it, and then to get money out of them, then yeah, we'll have
The
to,
tricky part.
we'll have to figure
That's
out
tricky.
for sure. who
Oh, I
put it
think
in
here,
there.
we'll have this posted. When we go up and start ripping it down, we're gonna find out who put it
Yeah, yeah.
in.
So,
Right?
I didn't quite understand
That'd be my guess.
Yeah,
on what he said on the timber. Someone put some timbers down to block going around.
Build a ditch.
Oh, okay.
I didn't see that.
so if no one takes credit for it, then we remove it.
Either way, if they don't remove it,
If
the
they
county
don't,
can
yeah.
remove
We
it.
keep tabs on how much it costs, and then once we find out, then we should send them a bill. 'Cause we're not the one to put it in.
Or they could potentially be charged with disorderly conduct. It's a public, whether it's a county road or not, it's a public road.
Yeah.
And so they could be charged, cited for disorderly conduct.
Righty, well, we'll go.
One more thing, plow truck, new plow truck.
Hopefully, all the hydraulics made it in. So with any luck, we'll be picking it up by the end of next week. So figure on one more week after next week, because you know how that goes. It should be done Thursday.
Well, tell them we want it done.
Oh, I did.
So you're managing though without the new one so far.
Any other for Paul? Any
So-
public comment?
As far as this model road maintenance agreement, I'll make that change and then get it to Billy then.
Okay, so on that, when you say the term of the agreement is as follows, it'll always be a year agreement from June to June? Or-
Commission's decision, but that's a good,
Yeah.
that would be my
Right.
advice, because, yeah, things are going bad, and then update the
Yeah.
insurance, good to have them come in.
So maybe we want that in the modification?
I could put, yeah,
You
put
think?
that in, I guess the issue is sometimes people may do like summer type stuff, I'm not sure what they do,
But this is just strictly for snow
Snow
plowing
plow.
anyway, so.
Snow removal.
it's, could be broader than that, but if that's generally what you're gonna allow, then, yeah.
No one's gonna go up there and blade or anything, anyway, you know.
Well, and, Scout said he'd been on the road blading, but
Right,
if people
right.
that know what they're doing, you're also not as.
Exactly.
All right, well, we'll go ahead and move on.
Okay.
That's all you got for us? You'll talk to
I'm
Sheriff
good.
and move on? Oh,
I didn't realize this was supposed to begin this morning.
oh.
That was my bad.
Jesus.
I
So,
know, I was late.
Whose kid are you?
Not it. You
they'll
did
be
it on
put
time.
on the list, they won't get priority, but they'll be on the list. so
Yeah,
Sorry
it's
about
all right. Hey, it's okay. Well, we were still talking about it, so go ahead and open up this bid.
It's too late to be put as a priority, but it can be put on the, yeah, put on. That's what the notice says, and that's what it's practice. And there's times where you need,
Yeah.
I mean,
This one's from, Shed Horn Hauling. It's $125 an hour for 2 trucks with belly or side dumps. Available as needed.
Still the same.
Yep.
who's shed horn, is that?
Frank
Frank
Branch.
Oh, okay.
Who?
Frank
Frank
Branch.
Branch.
So letters go get sent out
Yeah.
explaining it. Okay.
I'll be that.
All right.
Probably this. And
She's the daughter-in-law.
Too
Yes.
complicated. huh?
Right.
All right, so
Shame on her.
Susan said I just got a text that she's.
All righty, well,
Okay.
I will get this up there
Sooner the better.
today, so.
All right, thanks.
All right, sounds good, thank you, guys.
Thank you. All right, so go on to 9:35 is personal matter closed session. All right, so we're back at 9:45, going on with the Georgetown Lake outflow review and decision.
I'll move, we stay the same, we're up 2 inches. We're gaining ground, or gaining water.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any public comment?
So the inflows must be pretty good these days.
Well, it's starting in. We got that warm weather. We had that little bit of wet snow. It's kind of nice. The day I went up there was actually, it was wet snow, like down here, it's just sure, there ain't no moisture. That's what I was worried about. So no public comment, all in favor? Oh, did you?
We have
have-
one.
Sorry.
Elena has one.
See, I don't see her. Go ahead, Elena.
Okay, thank you. It's Elena Gagliano. I don't see anything as the report in the documents listed for today.
What's that?
The report for the outflow.
Oh, I can start putting it online if you want. I just pull it in the morning off the USG link.
Well, we might change it now and then, so I mean, you'd have to wait till we do it anyway.
Oh,
No, the report is supposed to be the,
Just a second, I'm talking. If we were
I
gonna.
thought I had the floor.
Well, you're wanting to, that's what, go ahead.
Do I have the floor again?
Yeah.
Thank you. The report from whoever's giving the report now, that's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
what-
Huh?
From Brandon.
Wasn't there.
we didn't receive one today.
Okay, well, we're waiting on that to come in anyway.
I see. Okay. All righty, because I know when that other person, his name escapes me right now, that used to send it, Dave Ammon, he used to send the report to everybody.
That's not, no, we're talking, I thought you were talking about the damn timber.
Dave Almond retired, right?
Yeah.
But there's someone that's gonna replace
Gonna
him.
replace
Yeah,
it.
Dave Almond retired and the new guy's gonna come in here one of these days and we're gonna meet him.
But he doesn't do reports every week
No,
either.
he don't. He only sends a report when we ask for it.
Yeah, they're brand, and
This,
then,
I thought she was talking about Brandon or the damn timber.
So you don't get a weekly report or a monthly report or anything regarding the water level.
We get it every week. We have it right here from the USGS, the same as we've had for years. And it's sitting at 6427.78. It came up.
Oh, that's what I was talking about, that, where it's sitting at, the numbers. That's what I was talking about.
Yes, it's sitting right here. We
Yeah,
get
well,
it
it's not online. That's what I mean. It should be online as a document so we can see it. That's what I'm,
so we just pull it from the USGS link that's on the commissioner's page. We just click on that.
So it's on there. She can look and look. on
Yeah,
it.
you just click on the link and
Did you
it tells
hear
you the
that?
lake level.
oh, so that's what, okay, fine, because being with the Georgetown Lake Homeowners Association, we used to get that report all the time. So now it's on the website. I'll see it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll go ahead and move ahead on the motion.
Can I had one
Oh,
question
sorry.
on that email from, that would we discuss with was that in the minute? And
Would that be a correspondence one or? is
the
that-
course book from the Montana Standard, is that in today's correspondence?
Oh, I didn't, because he was just asking for a comment for his story, so I didn't put that in the correspondence, but
Only because he's making claims that,
yeah, I can print it and add it. Correspondence.
What was the claims?
I didn't get it. I don't know if I erased it or.
He was
I
asking
want
for
to comment,
a comment for his
comments
story.
because somebody at the lake said that we let out too much water last spring
Oh,
and
you said in the response we sent to FERC, and we sent 2 responses to FERC.
Yeah, I guess if they're concerned about it, they'll get back with us and we can tell them, we're doing it by what we have to. That's all we can do. Is that all right, Glenn?
well, that, the only reason is I think it does need to be discussed that these comments are being made and hearsay is,
oh yeah, it happens all the time.
yeah.
I get that. I don't even.
Yeah. I'm thinking his story's probably already ran. wondering if this story's already ran. 'Cause I was-
Anyway, so I guess we'll go ahead and move ahead, but we
Okay.
got that in on the, we noted about it, so. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion been carried and passed. Trying to catch up here, so I guess we're up to the PrEP update with Jennifer Robinson. Are you there?
I'm here. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Hi, guys. I hope you guys had a great Christmas and a happy new year. To report, there are 9 COVID cases in Granite County. It really shot up in the past 24 to 48 hours. And the age range from little ones all the way up to, I believe, in the 90s. So it's a great range there. The next thing is that we did adopt the new guidelines for quarantine and isolation, and that does start today. I will forward on the new guidelines to Billy and Blaine so they both can see what the new guidelines are. They are shorter now. Instead of 10 days, it will be down to 5 days. There's more to it, but I'll send it off to Billy so that she can post it, and then Blaine can review it as well. This was just voted this morning in both counties. So at this time, there is no Omicron in Granite County that has been detected.
Omicron. So everything is Delta still?
It's so far, everything that's been showing from the state has been the Delta, yes.
And I didn't catch it. How many in Granite County?
We have 9.
Weird.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, and then the only other thing I have is I believe Billy has in front of you the continuing of operations plan, the after action report, and the communication plan. I did present this to you guys the middle of December. I just want to give you guys a fresh update. I did present these to Blaine. I believe the end of November is when he finally approved all of them with all the wording and everything. All it is just updating all of the documentation for the public health for Granite County. And there will be more for the Board of Health to approve in a few weeks when the Board of Health meets.
So
Do you guys
we
have-
wanna wait until they approve it to sign it, being that we take their recommendations? Fine.
These ones are more for just the commission, whereas the other ones are more for the Board of Health, and since the commission's on the Board of Health. So I would encourage you to approve these separately and then have the other, and these could be on the agenda as well for Board of Health, but to approve the other ones. at Board of Health.
Okay. So
I'll make a motion. I'm gonna be just like Chuck. I'm kidding.
I'm sorry I'm not here today. The roads were so nasty and the drifts that were up on Spring Hill, I wasn't gonna chance it. So I do apologize, I was not there.
we're going ahead with the motion to accept this, and so we can sign it and get it out, and then everybody else can get it signed too. I have a second. Any public comment? Elena?
Yep.
Elena?
Okay, thanks, Elena Gagliano. I have questions. You say there's 9 tests COVID. So we don't know what was really tested. I asked for the cycle threshold. Jennifer, did you ever get this cycle threshold on the test? That's number 1. Number 2, I understand that a lot of the tests, a lot of the PCR tests, I don't know what they're giving in Granite County. Those ended December 31st, and there was supposed to be new tests approved by the CDC. What tests are they using? And I also understand that the antigen self-test, are they giving those out in Granite County? That's another question. They're not really giving true results. So what tests are they using for COVID? I don't get it. I mean, we got 3 variances, and so nobody knows what we've got. So how do you know what the tests are coming up with?
Okay, to help answer your question, Elena, As of the, what speed and everything is being tested up at the state, because the state lab has been overwhelmed with tests and with the holidays, I have not gotten that answer back yet. Secondly, the free tests, I will have abundance of them once I receive them from the state. I believe it will be next week when when I deliver them to the county. So if anybody wants a free home test, it will be probably available next week. As of for the ending of the 12/31 for the test, all tests that the hospital takes is not an at-home test. It is a test that goes in the machine and they do wait a period of time to read it as a PCR. And any PCRs that are being sent to the state are true tests.
Okay, and I heard as of December 31st, a lot of the PCR tests, which were under the EUA, ended, and they have to go and get new ones. So all those old tests that we've been using, what's going to happen to them?
I believe with all the new old tests, I'd have to talk to Maria Stopler to see what she did with the old tests. But as if it is old, then they are to discard them or send them back to the state. I have to talk to Maria. And I believe Maria will be on later today, so I'll ask her a quick question.
Okay, that'd be good. Thank you. And it'll be interesting to know what the self-tests are going to be, because I heard those are not accurate either. I think it's kind of interesting that Granite County is one of the 43 counties that offers the monoclonal antibody therapy, and yet there's nobody speaking about that.
The hospital, anytime anybody goes up to have tests and they are positive, the hospital, I believe, does offer that test.
Right, but it's not advertised that it's being available in Granite County so people can get it, and I think it should be.
Okay, so what I'll do, Elena, is I'll talk to Maria and get that onto her website, and if it is something I can put it on, I'll send it over to Billy to put it under the COVID for us.
Yeah, because you're the public health board and it should be information available through you. Thank you.
Well, we're gonna go ahead and move on with this. What other stuff do you have, Jen? So we got
Scott, that's all I had to present for you today.
The vote on that.
What's that, Blaine?
Need the final vote on the those 3 documents as well.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion been carried and passed.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Good job. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the 10 o'clock, the resolution 2022-1. Regular commission meetings, dates and regular courthouse office hours for 2022, first reading.
I make a motion. You don't
First
make a
reading.
motion,
No,
do.
just the first reading.
First reading.
Just
Never mind.
discussion. Yeah.
You're quick.
I read it. I did, I read it. I think it's okay.
So we got a few minutes until the next one. so.
Okay.
Is there any comments on the resolution? Okay, we'll probably go off until 10:10.
Question, when's the Board of Health meeting? Is it
18.
18th?
Are we off?
Go for it.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead with the resolution 2022-2, establishing mileage, lodging, and per diem rates for business travel for year 2022. First reading.
What is the mileage for this year?
I thought I heard,
56,
is it, I thought it went up.
56.
I thought it went up, Lance. I thought somebody said it.
We can look it up on the IRS website.
Statewide,
If I make
right?
those, I'll-
Yeah, it comes from the state.
So you think it's higher? Yeah, it should January 1. It
I
should-
heard it did, but I don't know if that's true.
Sarah usually gets something,
Yeah,
or
on
well,
it.
go ahead and look it up.
Any comments on this?
Well, I think 7 and 11 and 18 are fine. I don't think anybody's starved with the 18 evening meal.
It's,
No,
I
changing it
Drummond
last year.
School does it similar, I think. So.
How do you know if people want it? You'll just let me know if they got comments, or is there something come up on here that?
Oh, yeah, you should be able to see the pan. We can change.
January 1 going up to 58.5 cents.
That's what I heard.
Want me to send it to you?
I've seen it on that website.
It's on the MontanaCounties.org.
58.5. Excuse me. And so then after 1,000, what would it be? Miles.
Why you get more after 1,000?
Because it has to be in the resolution.
Well, it just references the
Oh, okay.
IRS. One thing,
Well, it says.
I had the opportunity to, I did that deposition at Dick Combrek for that case, and I was gonna take the blue car and I decided not to, so then I just charged the county gas. So just the actual gas stuff. That car just sitting out there gonna be used for people.
I think it gets used every once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sarah keeps
Yeah, keeps it.
Yeah.
keeps up on it. She uses it and the road crew uses it.
So would I
I like my.
kind of make a comment on past history on this mileage thing? Is that the road superintendent had done repairs on his truck, and so his truck was being repaired, and so he used his own vehicle and went way over 1,000 miles, and so they still paid him the same. But wouldn't he be able to use another vehicle instead of using his own personal one?
We don't have another 4-wheel drive one to give them. I mean, if we take away from the county crew, there's only 2 other, and then that one pickup, not really liable, but the 2 newer pickups, we'd be taking away from them. And like this one here is only 2-wheel drive. I guess that'd be our next question is maybe down the road or something, if something comes along, we could find a 4-wheel drive or something, because he definitely has to have 4-wheel drive. And then like in his own personal pickup, he has a fuel tank too, so he was hauling fuel and they were doing that out at, just say out at Stas and that. So.
They bought that 2-wheel drive when Scott was gone one week. I remember that. You get a good deal on it. 2-wheel drive.
But that's why he goes ahead and uses his own.
Well, in the summer, you could probably use a 2-wheel drive.
But they don't have a fuel tank and stuff. I mean, they could haul their own fuel too. We could make it work. I'm just saying that's why he took his and.
Well, it was a lot of money that we had to pay out because his county vehicle was in the shop. And I just thought there was extra vehicles floating around.
So you're gonna hauling county fuel and his own tank? Oh, pull that out.
I'm just saying that, you know, he has a tank in there and then if he needs it, he could fuel. That's all I was saying.
You guys' decision.
Hmm?
That'd be the commission decision. I'm like.
I mean, because there's a lot of times, you know, they're up there with equipment and they, you know,
Yeah.
so he was, I don't know, I guess we could just try and make sure that they'd have to, don't haul fuel in his own pickup. I mean, what? it's not-
Being skinflinty, is that what the expression is? I'm a skinflint. I'm trying to save us $1 here
Thank you.
by saving 2 cents by spending $1.
I have a couple of claims here. Woo, thank you.
Yeah, there was some dust or something in here. 'Cause I was about to sneeze too.
Look at you.
Yeah.
This is that letter to the dam
You're,
tender.
yeah, you're on, so.
Okay. I did, yeah.
Yeah. Fix the wording.
Since we don't have no comment or nothing on the resolution, we'll go to the next resolution. establishing the daily rate of credit for incarceration. This is the stuff like through the sheriff's office, and I'm not quite sure if it went up or not. I haven't talked to Scott.
Stayed the same, sheriff. It's good with it. This way he gets reimbursed from the state and they basically require him to, they won't let him charge any more than that. I mean, we could set the rate higher if it was actually, but the state's already basically established it. And that's
And they
what,
got some kind of formula that he figures
Yeah.
that, so we've always just kind of went with what they said. Yeah, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. It's not like we can.
yeah,
Is there any comments on that?
On what?
On that other resolution on daily incarceration? We don't really have it, you know, it's gonna be what it's gonna be when they put the state puts it in. Always has.
So I got an email from Jackie, it would make that 10 days. Spike after the holidays.
so how do you say it? Is it Omicron or what?
Omicron? I don't know.
Omicron.
Omicron,
O-M-I-C.
but it's Omicron,
Omicron.
Omicron.
they say it, and it spreads fast, but if people aren't dying of it,
Yeah.
it's not, doesn't have the, but
Yeah, that's why I asked her if we,
Yeah.
if it was all Delta here. You know, there's still bad stuff.
there's some in Missoula, I guess, a couple, few cases. Must have to send it into the state lab.
But what I hear with the Omicron, that basically you want to get it because you're immune to the rest of it. That's what I.
You're not-
I mean, I don't know.
Don't get the.
And but it's mild,
So, yeah,
it's mild, you know, so.
but the media blows everything
Yeah.
completely out of proportion. Just get people just scared to go outside. Got our president out on the beach with his wife and dog with the mask on.
On the beach?
Yeah.
On the beach.
By himself, no one else on this beach.
Funny.
Him and his wife, he's got a mask on.
I see
President.
people driving in their cars with their mask on, and I'm just going, you're in your car.
Wow. Yeah, by yourself.
I guess we can go off until 10:30.
Oh, were we on?
Maria, we're gonna go ahead with Maria Stoppler. Are you on there?
Hi, how are you?
Good, you?
Let me just check my volume here. I apologize. I locked my keys in the car this morning. So with these shoes, I didn't want to walk down. So,
Okay.
so I'll give you my report from here. So I'll start with the administrator's report, and I'm guessing with our public health team on this call that you've probably received all of your updates on COVID.
Yep.
So are any questions anyone may have in regard to any COVID updates?
No, I think Jen answered a bunch of them, and you'll probably be getting a call from a person in the public on a couple testing things, but that'd be up to you guys to answer anyway, because we don't know it.
Okay. Is there anyone in the chat that may have any questions on the variant or on anything like that? I see a hand raised.
Just a second, Maria, what's that mean?
Elena has comments or questions.
Well, she can, let's let Maria go ahead first, and then she can do the comment and we'll get down.
Okay.
So we hear there's no Omicron here yet, is that true?
I'm sorry, what did you say?
There's no Omicron here yet?
That's the report I received from Deb Robinson. She says we've not had any identified cases, but the samples, as I understand, are randomly selected. So they're not testing every single positive case. They're randomly selecting out of the positives. They found one in Anaconda, Deer Lodge County, and one in Powell County, but not any identified in our county yet.
Okay, well, I guess we'll go ahead and let you do that monthly financial update since you started there, and then we can get that away.
Okay, but I'll also add that we still have doses of the monoclonal antibodies available, the Regeneron. So we do have that available, and from what they're seeing, it's not as effective against the Omicron variant. But since we haven't seen that variant in our county, we are still giving that out because it's better to at least have some of the antibodies than to not have the dose at all. So we are still offering that if someone is interested.
Okay, thank you.
So I'll move on. In our business department revenue cycle team, effective January 1st, all healthcare facilities and providers need to adhere to several new policies required by the No Surprises Act provision. This is a provision that intends to protect patients from certain surprise medical bills and remove consumers from payment disputes between a provider and a health plan. And when they talk about no surprise billing, it has to do with, say you're going in for a visit or a procedure to a facility, and you know that facility is in network. So you've checked all those things, you've done your research, you know that the facility is in network, but then say they have a hospitalist or an anesthesiologist or some sort of specialist that operates independently in that facility, and that service may be out of network. So they're referring to that as surprise billing, because you wouldn't necessarily know that if you're, say, in St. Pat's, and your nurse anesthetist happens to be out of network, and then you find you're paying more for that service. So this No Surprise Act provision requires that facilities be as transparent as possible and give you upfront pricing and upfront notification on an out of network service. So that's good for our patients. And our radiology upgrade or renovation project that we're doing, we expect the equipment to be installed sometime next week. If everything is finished up in the room, they're doing the last final finish work and trim work on the room that we're using to place the new equipment. And that's hopefully going to be done and just in time for the new equipment to arrive sometime next week. So I'll keep you posted on that. It'll be nice to have upgraded equipment for our radiology services. Under our financial report, it looks like our projected cash available is about $845,000. That's with some relief funds that we have pulled from restricted. We reported all of our COVID related funds for the grants and the monies that relief monies that we received. So we did all that reporting, but we held a certain amount in restricted in case we found that maybe they denied some of our expenses, just to be cautious. So we've released those funds, and that's why we have a projected cash available. Deposits expected through mid-month are approximately 297,000. Money going out the door is about 200,000. So that will leave us at approximately 942,000 with 62 days cash on hand. Now that is fluid. That's an estimation. Okay, year to date, our utilization is doing very well with 8 out of 12 of our areas on target. We did see a decline in clinic visits, CAT scans, and ER visits in November. And our hospital days were down from the prior month, but we did meet the target. The reason why the utilization was so good is swing beds were up from the prior month. And it's twice the monthly target, so that was good. PT visits were up. Long-term care resident count was up by 2 from the prior month and 4 over target. So November was a solid month with almost 600,000 collected in gross revenue. And all of that, but minus 1,100 was related to patient care. So year to date, we are 10% above our target, our budget target. Okay, but expenses were about 12% over budget for November and 7% over budget year to date. And that's because of COVID related expenses and equipment and supplies that we need to have on hand related to being able to best respond. So any questions on the financial piece?
No, I don't. Blanche? Yeah.
No.
No, Blaine? Nope, I think we're all good on that.
Any questions in general?
Huh?
Any questions in general?
Not, I don't think, do you got any questions? I think we're on the general, just, seems like everything's moving right along.
Yes, our case count is rapidly going up this week.
Yeah, all the holidays and everybody traveling, moving around, I'm sure.
Yes, holiday exposures, it's going up rapidly.
Well, how about the flu? Is there any flu?
We saw 1 case of flu last week. So we do continue to test for flu.
Okay.
Okay. No, other than that, that's all we got from you is just on the agenda for the financial update. So sounds like we're good.
Were there any questions from the audience?
Elena has one. Is this on just the financial stuff, Elena?
I think she's there.
Elena.
No, this is public questions that Maria asked for. She asked for it in the beginning. She's asked for it again for general about the number of cases and stuff. Maria, are you prepared to answer any questions or that, or it's just this financial?
I'm available to answer any questions you might have. And if I don't know the answer, I'll absolutely direct you to public health.
Thank you, Maria. Public health has said that they were going to ask you. They were on earlier, kind of. FEP was on earlier. And so I had these questions and she said that you were on later and we would ask you. So, but you kind of answered the one about the monoclonal antibody therapy. Let me get this. Okay, sorry. So, and my question was, why isn't it being advertised more that was available in Granite County? It seems like they're keeping it quiet. There's 43 counties now that offer it. And I had to do research to find out that, Granite County was one. So I think that's something that people should know about.
Well,
the other thing was, I had asked a question. I don't know if you can answer it, but I asked the question a few weeks ago. And I understand that there is a cycle threshold pertaining to the COVID tests. And I already went to the DPHS and the questions, I'm still waiting for them to answer. And the health department is still waiting for an answer. But I understand that the threshold should be less than 35 on the test. If it's any higher, then the test will pick up anything, any kind of cold, flu, whatever. And I understand that, I don't know if it's a CDC or the FDR, FDR. I'm sorry. Anyway, I understand that it's 40 is what the test cycle is, and it should be less than 40. Okay, I have an important call I have to get, so I'm gonna get off. Thank you.
Elena, I'll find that answer.
Thank you very much.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, okay, well, we're gonna move on then. She can get a hold of you later, Maria.
No worries. I will reach out to her later. I'll find that answer. I don't have it.
Sounds like she's waiting for comments back from other people and just trying to get you to comment before they do. So we're just gonna move on with that.
Okay,
Thank you for everything and,
thank you. Have a good day. Stay well.
all right, thank you. We're gonna be off now until 11. Thanks.
Whose phone was that, Maria's?
Now you're right.
All right, we're back on. We're gonna go ahead with the negotiations with Flint Creek Hydro with Judge McLean. Discussion and decision. You wanna start us, Blaine, or?
Well, he had talked to you 2 weeks ago and, was, wanted to try to get it resolved, but it was his understanding and my understanding of what they said during that original mediation was different. So he was gonna try to talk to him about the insurance deal again. And
I don't even see him on there.
might have to call him. I thought he was gonna call him.
Well, that's what he said, we told him when it was and he was. Should we call him and see what he found out or?
Okay, in a nutshell, what? In a nutshell, they're saying that we shouldn't have the insurance, we shouldn't have
Well, that shouldn't count. The insurance shouldn't count towards
the revenue
loss,
that
yeah.
we've had to pay, and that's hogwash, right? I mean, it's
That insurance isn't
you have to
necessity
pay
of doing
this.
business.
We,
Yeah, but the getting caught up in the past fight is not
Right.
solving the issue. We're trying to move forward with the plan. You look at the last 5 years and the amount of expense there, and that was required.
Yeah.
And whether they gave us another year or two to do it, it was still gonna come, still gonna be required. You have the Part 12D every 5 years. There's add-ons from the last 5, Part 12D, we're kind of still working on the seismic study and those we have to do. And there'll be more recommendations. There's more recommendations in the current Part 12D. So these expenses are there. I guess, hopefully don't have a whole lot of just
so what?
valves and other things, but you never know.
So what you're saying is we're going forward and we're asking them to help meet some of the expenses, not what's happened in the past,
Correct.
what's going forward, and they're not willing to comply.
I guess they're saying that the county wouldn't be in the position it is if it wouldn't have done X, Y, and Z, but I don't see where the county's.
I don't know why they keep going backwards when we're trying to move ahead and make this work. They can't keep bringing up the crap from before. We did it and it's done and let's go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're talking about if we do go to arbitration and get expensive, potentially for the one that loses, but I think I'll, that right.
Yes, yes.
Summarize it.
Yeah, they get all upset about that, but yet they're not even on today. You think they'd be listening to see what we're trying to work and talk.
I think they get the minutes.
But I mean,
how's it going?
Good. I have equipment allowance checks here for the road crew and the solid waste. And then also the liabilities checks are in there too for,
Spit it out.
I know, I'm like, what is that word that I need?
So do we want to call him or do we want to?
I'd say that, but I'd say I don't think it's beneficial to keep having him be the mediator, because I don't think he's helping. He's not, mediator's trying to get parties come to the middle. He seems to be more just taking their side.
I agree.
So basically, all we want is going forward, them to help us with expenses.
And it was only if you're over expenses or over royalties, you share them, and then they could do that in in-kind work. So it's not gonna put them out at all. They didn't respond to the county really. I mean, he had to go to them and they're.
But we're begging them all the time. We're asking stuff and begging. We never hear back. You know, it's just like now. He knew he was gonna be on. Why aren't, you know, the
If we're gonna do if we're gonna arbitrate with them, and I haven't said litigation, arbitration is required as far as the litigation, is to get potentially an expert hired. And I had been looking for one there and haven't found anyone, but if you want me to keep trying, I will.
So we want
You
them,
probably should.
go ahead.
Keep trying to find an expert.
Because you can't just go into arbitration and say, hey, we're owed all these, we have all these expenses, they need to share them. We gotta say why, and that some of this was unforeseeable at the time of the contract. That would be this high and this strict. I think it is, but I need an expert to say that. So I guess you could call Ed McLean now, but I don't think it's gonna go anymore.
well, and every time we call it costs money. Right? Or
Well, he hasn't been billing through the last couple. I've seen him bill.
I thought he was.
Okay.
He did for the original mediation.
So what are you thinking? We'll just go ahead and move on.
Well, things he hasn't reached out to us. Just bringing it up, I don't think, I think we're being very, how would I say it, when we share anything over royalties, if they'd share expenses over royalties, it's fair, because they should be.
That was originally what was foreseeable, is they thought that the royalties would cover the expenses. That's what they planned on and what they foresaw. But I think if you direct me to, keep looking for an expert, potentially on the expense, expert on dam expenses.
Do we have to make a motion on that, or we've already?
I think you already directed me, so I'll just I kind of stopped because I hadn't found anyone, and then we were attempting to still resolve it. But
Yeah. Well, they're not going to. They're. We've hit a stone wall.
If we keep doing everything, why would they? I mean, they just
Yeah.
kind of sit back and we're doing all the legwork and everything, and it's just like.
And the agreement does say the county is the maintenance costs are on the county, but I don't think that what is going on now is foreseeable at the time that that contract was entered into 2004.
So, and then that's already done and in the past, and we've spent it and paid it back and given up PILT money for it, and so we're not gonna do that anymore, right? So I guess going forward,
Well,
we just go forward and hope there isn't any expenses over royalties.
I think you potentially have to look at PILT. I mean, if litigation fails, you'd have to look at PILT. Hopefully in 2033 that you're gonna get 20% because it would change then. I said 2004. I think the original contract was 2001. It was before my day.
Well, right now, we have to keep our expenses the way they are, taken care with Great West. We have to keep them, right? I mean.
Well, we got so much invested in them, they
Yeah,
know what we're
yeah.
doing, and
if you lose the license, they're gonna, then Flicker Hydro would have a cause of action against the county. So you have to take it to arbitration. If you lose that, then you're gonna have to look at Pill.
Well, I don't see where we have much choice. I mean, it just seems like we're not getting nothing back, no feedback or nothing. I mean, even like today, I think there'd be something on there they could just throw something, whether we took it or not, at least
There's been no
notice
counter,
us that we're trying and we're not getting nothing from them. They
been no
just,
counter offer to
Yeah.
either.
No. So going forward, okay, just to understand this just a little bit better. The contract is we take care of maintenance. So there it is. And they're trying to go with past. We should have excluded all this and not done it, and otherwise we wouldn't be in a deficit.
That's what they're saying.
So going forward, I guess they're not willing to do anything, and so we have to honor that contract, paying for the maintenance. Is that,
What we're
What-
saying is that potentially some of those expenses are unforeseeable at the time the contract was back, originally when the contract was entered into. So the only way that we're gonna be able to carry that argument forward is hire an expert and go into arbitration. Then
yeah.
you lose arbitration, then look at PILT if you got expenses above royalties. Hopefully you don't, but I think it's inevitable that certain
Well, yeah.
years you're gonna have expenses over royalties.
It just seems like it's just at a standstill and we keep trying to go ahead and then they keep bringing up other stuff and from back before, well, that needs to be dropped. Let's just try to figure out and move ahead. And if we have to go out there, I guess the
Have to
county,
just-
the public needs to know what's going on. Don't
have
you
to
guys
agree
think
with
that?
this.
I don't, I'm tired of sitting and waiting. They know we keep paying everything and they're not standing up on their end.
Like this year, per se, well, I guess you got the seismic study that's gonna come up. Are you above royalties, rank, gonna be this year above the royalties in your costs?
what do you mean? Oh, and the
Well,
expenditures versus,
This year, we're not.
I know,
yeah.
I think
The
it's
last
like.
2 months, the last month and up to, we're sitting at 6 and that's not bringing in nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a problem. We have so much other to try to figure out how to make it on where they're just sitting there, and it affects them too, but it's,
They're making money.
yeah, they're still 90% on us and 10
Yeah.
here, and even at 6, I don't know what they make. I could look it up. It just seems, I don't know, I'm just frustrated. Just, there's never no feedback, nothing. You know, we got a bag in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Finally, you get one little comment. It's like, come on. It's a business.
One thing you gotta realize is though, if you go to arbitration, county will have expert fees, they will. If the county loses, potentially there could be a few $100,000 that you'd have to be ordered to pay of their expenses, so,
that we can't afford. Where do we get that money? Pilt,
yeah.
and then put the county
that-
down from any kind of extra monies.
So there's risk on it, but seeing what that expert has to say would be the first thing.
Yeah.
And saying,
Finding the expert.
as long as we have pill, they're just gonna abuse it. Cause they know that we're gonna cover. And we said we wouldn't the next time, but when it comes down and we have nothing, and then you know what
Yeah,
I'm
if you just,
saying?
if you just let the license lapse without going into arbitration, the judgment's gonna be against the county.
Yeah.
So your suggestion is still look for an expert?
See what they hire one, see what they say and what they were testified to, and then consider whether you're gonna.
Well, we got
Go
so
to
much
arbitration.
documentation, where, I mean, we're gonna save him a lot of work too, cause we actually got all this documentation, what we've done and what we
Yep.
fixed and how we made, going back, trying to get them to come back to us, and it's taking forever to get a high out of it. So, I mean,
Who would qualify as an expert?
So it'd be someone that, it could be like a professor who's researched costs. It could be a actual person who's worked for a hydro consultant with a hydro plant.
So what about this guy that was willing to help from Northwestern Energy?
I'm meeting with him tomorrow,
Are you?
just to pick his brain. I don't
Yeah.
know what his expertise is, or if he knows other people who would have that. But yeah.
Because he seemed to, well, according to Jack Morrison, he knows, being with Northwestern Energy priorly, he knows exactly, and he feels that he could help the county. So yeah, if you're meeting with him tomorrow,
Yeah, he's in
Yeah.
town about 1 tomorrow.
we'll go
I think
forward.
we
Might be a
just-
star, could lead us to.
We might just leave our options open.
Could he be our
Even
expert?
if we get a couple
Yeah.
experts, that's gonna better us.
Could he be our expert, do you think?
I just don't know what his forte is, but I'll figure that out.
Yeah.
He might be able to lead us to
Yeah.
someone that is.
So,
Alrighty. I guess we'll just kind of move on with what we're thinking and go from there. Let you just kind of keep looking, and after next week, if you'll put this back on, and then next week.
Or I'd say maybe a couple weeks.
Okay, I didn't help you.
Unless you want to update on what I find from talking to John.
That's all I guess. I
Okay.
could give us just a little,
Yeah.
just how you felt and what's there, and you guys good with that?
Yep.
I mean, I think if it keeps fresh in our minds, it's better for me. Otherwise,
yep.
I'm not.
Yeah,
Well, we'll go with that. I don't think you need no motion or nothing on that, being that.
Already have to read,
Yeah.
guys already direct.
So, you guys good with everything there? Any comment?
Elena.
Okay, Elena, go ahead.
Thank you. It's Elena Gagliano for the record and clarification. So basically you're saying by moving forward, 1, we do nothing. 2, we go to arbitration. Blaine, can you explain arbitration as opposed to litigation? It seems like we might as well just go to litigation. And as far as arbitration with Northwest Energy, discussion with them, isn't that a conflict of interest?
So, arbitration is required in the agreement with Flint Creek Hydro, and it would be, the type litigation we have to take. It'd be before a private judge, through using the American Arbitration Association rules. And so it'd be an arbitrator with them. The John Fitzpatrick, who is going to talk with me, he formerly worked for Northwestern. He doesn't work for him anymore, and I don't know that he's an expert that the county would need, but he'd be a resource or consultant that maybe could lead us to an expert. The county would need an expert in the arbitration to say that the costs that the county's paying now are not foreseeable from when the contract was originally entered into. Arbitration is different than mediation. It's binding. It's a private judge, and his ruling is binding, his or her, and potentially the losing party has to pay all the expense of full expense of arbitration and the other party's attorney's fees and expert fees.
So through the arbitration, then the facts and the evidence is presented, and then they can decide, well, yes, you're underpaying and that you should pay more. Is that kind of it?
Yeah, the arbitrator could make that ruling that these added fees above royalties could be shared. No, it's not 100% guaranteed, but there is good case law that unforeseeable contract fees aren't supposed to just go to one party. They're supposed to be shared.
Right. Okay, thank you, Blaine. And one other thing, Mako, couldn't Mako also be brought in on this? They're your insurer for litigation. Am I wrong?
So that
Maybe they can help you.
they wouldn't provide an attorney. They could potentially provide some resources, but I'm not sure what even in
We
that
haven't
case.
looked into that far, but we're gonna go ahead and move on anyway, because we're on the next.
Thank you, Blaine.
You're
For
welcome.
the record.
All right, we're into correspondence. I'm just gonna go through who we got them from, and then if somebody needs them, we can post them or whatever, that way we move on.
They're already posted.
Oh, okay, good. We got one from John Galt on the local fire department district.
Yeah, I read that on the email thing.
Or burn permit. Yeah, the sheriff answered all of his questions.
Okay. All right, and then the next one's Association of Counties Property and Casualty Agents Services Survey. We'll go through, maybe we can put it on next week and we can go through it and do it, or if you want to do it, just
Whatever you
on
want.
how they are, what
Do you want me
we've
to
done.
just answer it?
What is it?
It's a Property and Casualty Agent Services Survey. You want to put it on there and go through it and take about 5 minutes to do.
So it's just something that needs to,
Just see, let them know how we feel about what's what. Here's the other one. Okay, and then the next one's Deer Lodge Valley and North Powell Conservation Districts. I talked to Tracy Manley a little bit, and they were trying to find some help and not having troubles. They were doing a bunch of interviews for that new job. So, but other than that, that's what we did in that.
Are they needing anything right now, or
Huh?
are they needing something right now, or just
Not
updating?
that's their deal. We gave them that money, remember, and they were trying to figure out what. And then the next two are DEQs, are not even in Granite County, they're on the Indian Reservation and another one. But we get these all the time and we don't. And then the next one's the Granite County Justice Court on the disbursements. And then we got a letter from FEMA on approval of the Granite County and towns of Drummond and Filford Hazard Mitigation Plan. And the last one is Office of Treasurer of Granite County, State of Montana. And that's it for correspondence. Thanks.
Did Jackie Bolster receive that FEMA one letter, copy of that
I
one?
think she did. I talked to her yesterday. She said something about FEMA, but if not, we can,
I'll make sure she gets.
yeah, maybe just send it
Yeah.
to her.
Because it came in our mail yesterday.
Okay, since that, we'll go ahead with public comment. Any public comment?
What is that? Signing pages on this letters, if that's okay, the signing.
Mhm.
They all sign.
You want them?
Just the signing, I have the other document.
I think since there's no public comment, we could move on to the Board of Minutes for December 21st.
I make a motion that we accept the board minutes for December 21st, 2021.
I'll second.
Any comments? Being no comments, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried and passed. So we'll go ahead on with, sure, Jeremy. Yeah,
So we're adjourned?
I'll make most word adjourned for this week. Good job, you guys. Thanks.